The Eagles are coming off a Super Bowl victory thanks to elite play from a solid roster. Keeping the team together is going to be a struggle, but with this impressive draft class, there should be no issues replacing players. So today I'm going to analyze what we need, who can fill that void, and what experts are saying. Alright, let's go position by position to identify what we need. Quarterbacks are out of the picture as we just won a Super Bowl with ours, and he'll be here for a while. Wide receivers and running backs are the same, no one's expected to go anywhere except Gainwell, but we already have his replacement in Shipley. Tight end is where things begin to get tricky. Dallas Goedert is aging, so we will need a replacement sooner rather than later, as Calcaterra isn't a long-term solution. On the offensive line, other than losing Becton, all we need to do is replace Lane Johnson. But that can wait another year as he just signed a 3-year contract. We also just plucked Kenyon Green from the Houston Texans. Moving on to defense, our line will be losing key pieces in free agency, with the Patriots signing Milton Williams. The Eagles are also losing Josh Sweat on the edge, another major factor, but aside from him, we're in decent shape. His absence is somewhat offset by Joshua Uche, who we just signed, but I'm not sure he has the same talent level or ceiling as Sweat. We've also lost Oren Burks in the linebacker room, and he'll need to be replaced unless Howie trusts Trotter and Van Sumeren to step up. Our cornerback room, though, was gutted. We lost Darius Slay and Isaiah Rodgers, then in a shocking move, we traded CJ Gardner-Johnson at safety. The Eagles are looking at an extremely young team next year. The big question is whether a veteran presence will be necessary. Anyway, that brings our total defensive losses to 6 players, impacting nearly every position on the field. And now that we've identified our needs, let's dive into the top prospects at each position and assess our chances of landing. Starting with the defensive line's elite tier dubbed the Miracles, these are the top 3 prospects in this draft class: Mason Graham, Walter Nolan, and Derek Harmon. All 3 are exceptional athletes, and given Howie's emphasis on building through the trenches, targeting a defensive lineman with our first pick makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, defensive linemen are highly valued across the league, meaning Graham and Nolan will likely be off the board before our pick. That leaves Harmon as a potential option, though we'd need some luck for him to fall to us. At the Combine, Harmon measured 6'5", 313 pounds, and ran an impressive 4.95 second 40-yard dash. During his final season at Oregon, he recorded 45 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Nicknamed the Human Flood, he's known for his overwhelming power, consistently collapsing opposing offensive lines like a relentless wave. Now we move on to the next tier of defensive linemen, the hopefuls: Kenneth Grant, Omar Norman-Lott, and Deon Walker. Starting with Kenneth Grant from Michigan, at the Combine he weighed 331 pounds and stood 6'4". In 2023 he was named second team All-Big Ten, and in 2024 he earned a third-team All-American honors. That season, he finished with 32 total tackles, 3 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 5 passes deflected. Grant is a dominant run defender, though he's acknowledged that his pass rushing skills could improve. Fortunately, with Eagles D-line coach Clint Hurt, that won't be a concern. Next up is Omar Norman-Lott from Tennessee. He weighs 291 pounds, stands 6'2", and showcased his athleticism at the Combine with a 31.5-inch vertical and a 9'4" broad jump. In 2024, he recorded 18 total tackles and 4 sacks. Norman-Lott began his career at Arizona State, redshirting in 2021 before transferring to Tennessee as a 5th-year senior. While some may view him as overly aggressive, especially after a 2023 on-field fight against Florida, his teammates praise his passion, saying that he is a strong locker room presence. Lastly, we have Deon Walker from Kentucky. He tipped the scales at 331 pounds, stood 6'7", and posted a 25-inch vertical with an 8'8" broad jump. In 2024, he tallied 37 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 2 passes deflected. He's drawn comparisons to Jordan Phillips, a solid overall tackle prospect with a well-rounded skill set. These 3 players represent the hopeful targets for the Eagles, each bringing something unique to the table. Now we move on to my favorite section, the realistic picks, or Tier 3. This group includes Darius Alexander, Tyleak Williams, and Aeneas Peebles. Starting with Darius Alexander, many draft analysts project him to fall to the Eagles in either the 2nd or 3rd round. Hailing from Toledo, this 6', 305-pound defensive lineman is an exceptional athlete. As our first 6-year senior, he began his college career as a redshirt and finished the 2024 season as a second-team All-MAC selection, even capping it off with a pick 6. His strengths lie in his length, bend, instincts, and technique. In 2024, he recorded 40 tackles, 3.5 sacks, a pick 6, and 4 passes defended. While he may slide in the draft, the right coaching could turn him into a diamond in the rough. Up next is Tyleik Williams from Ohio State. Standing at 6'3", 334 pounds, Williams did not participate in the NFL Combine, but his production speaks for itself. In 2024, he posted 46 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 1 pass defended. His NFL comparison? Allen McNeil. Williams is nimble, aggressive, and thrives in one-on-one pass rush situations, making him a strong addition to any defensive line. That wraps up our defensive line prospects. Now we move on to our second most important position, edge rusher. The top 3 players at this position are Abdul Carter, Jalen Walker, and James Pierce Jr. Both Carter and Walker are expected to be off the board by pick 32, but there is hope that Tennessee's James Pierce Jr. might still be available. Pierce is an explosive athlete, standing at 6'5", weighing 243 pounds. At the NFL Combine, he ran a 4.47 second 40-yard dash, recorded a 31-inch vertical jump, and hit 10 feet 3 inches in the broad jump. In 2024, he racked up 38 total tackles, 7.5 sacks, and led his team with 13 tackles for loss, earning first-team All-SEC honors. His NFL comparison? Odafe Owe. Pierce has a tight hip build, but boasts an explosive first step. While he lacks elite bend, his speed to power moves make him a dangerous pass rusher at the next level. Kicking off our tier 2 edge rushers is Mykel Williams from Georgia. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 265 pounds, Williams recorded 21 tackles and 5 sacks during the 2024 season. His NFL comparison is Gregory Rousseau. He possesses explosiveness, range, and long arms, but he needs to refine his bend to become a more complete pass rusher. Next on this list is Mike Green from Marshall University. At 6'4", 248 pounds, Green put up jaw-dropping numbers in 2024. 81 tackles and 17 sacks. He was named second-team All-American and Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year, while also being a finalist for the Ted Hendricks Award, given to the nation's top defensive end. His NFL comparison is Alex Highsmith. Green is explosive, violent, and instinctive, but longer-armed linemen could present a challenge for him. Rounding out this tier is Texas A&M's Nick Scorton. The 6'4", 285-pound defensive end wrapped up 2024 with 37 total tackles and 5 sacks. Compared to Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals, Scorton plays with power, aggression, and high football IQ, but his lack of length and elite acceleration could limit his ceiling. Starting off our tier 3 is Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 260 pounds, he finished the 2024 season with 59 total tackles and 9 sacks. He is powerful, but a little slow. He has a relentless motor, however, that keeps him rushing even when most would quit pursuit. Now on to Donovan Ezra-Rocky, the 6'2", 247-pound edge from Boston College. At the NFL Combine, he jumped 35.5 inches vertically and 9 feet 11 inches horizontally. He finished the 2024 season with 80 total tackles and 16.5 sacks. He won the Ted Hendricks Award and was first-team All-American, named ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He also led his team with 3 forced fumbles, as he is slightly undersized but uses his length and aggression to attack blockers and get to the quarterback. Unfortunately, due to budget and time restraints, the rest of the video is going to be cut pretty short. I'm just going to really quick run through each of the top people. Here's the O-line, here's the offensive tackles, here's the safeties, here's the linebackers, here's the cornerbacks, here's the tight ends, here's the wide receivers, here's the running backs, and that's it. If you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching. Sorry the end got cut short. Bye.